I are getting ready to go on our first backpacking trip of the summer, and I am so freaking excited. This is actually only my second backpacking trip ever, but I learned a lot of really hard lessons the first time. So I thought today, as we get all packed up, I could share with you guys the 3 massive mistakes I made as a first-time backpacker and what I'm doing differently this time. Last time we caught up, I was down in southern Utah for work. I am back home now. Everything's going really great, but we'll catch up on work and the camper renovation next time. Today we are headed out into the backcountry. Our 6-year wedding anniversary was yesterday, and we are headed out on a 2-night backpacking trip tomorrow morning. So I'm out in the van. All of our gear and stuff is still in here from last summer. So I'm just making sure that we have everything, getting my bag packed, and getting ready to head out. The first mistake that I made as a first-time backpacker was not having a good backpack. We're pretty avid hikers, so I had a lot of day packs, and I had what I thought was a really cool backpacking backpack. Turns out it was just cute and stylish and was incredibly unfunctional. The pack I took last year didn't have the front straps to secure the bag, and when you're carrying heavier packs like you do when you go backpacking, that makes a huge difference with how comfortable your pack is, how much weight you can carry, and how much pain you're going to be in when you're done. So we have a really great secondhand gear shop a couple towns over from me. That's one thing I will always say about a mountain town or an adventure town, is check the thrift stores. I found so many good things secondhand in places like Flagstaff, Jackson Hole, Sedona, etc. Anywhere that there is a lot of activity that requires gear, there's probably going to be some really good secondhand gear. I actually got my hiking boots for $7 thrifted in Flagstaff. Now that I know that I am really into backpacking and I'd like to do this more often, I decided to thrift an Osprey backpacking backpack. I got this for $80 used, so it was a really good deal. It's definitely seen some love over the years, but it's still in really good condition, and I'm excited to get it back out into the wilderness. So the thing I was most excited for when I thrifted this pack is not only does it have the front straps, which I was totally looking for, it has these pads for your hips. This helps just kind of decrease the amount of pain, especially as a female, that I'm going to feel on my front hip bones as I carry this pack, and it helps keep my load secure to my body, which makes it a little bit easier for me to carry. The comfort in the straps compared to the one I took last year is incredible, and I'm really excited about this purchase. The last majorly awesome thing about this backpack is this top flap. My last backpack only had like one massive compartment, and while it held a lot of stuff, it was hard to stay organized, which is really important when you're backpacking, especially if you're packing up a camp every night. So I really liked that this pack had this top pouch. This is going to be really great for snacks, cameras, things for the dogs that I need to access a little bit more often that I don't want to get buried at the bottom of my bag. Now that we've gone over the bag itself, let's go over what we're putting in the bag. So we'll start with the basics. I have a sleeping bag. I will say I will definitely be investing in a better sleeping bag over time. This one is rated down to 41 degrees Fahrenheit, and when I ordered it, I was confident that, you know, we only go backpacking in the summer, no big deal. Yeah, the mountains are a crazy place, and it can be very cold even in the summer. I mean, even down here in the valley right now, it's been in the 70s during the day and 40s overnight, so I imagine it will be much colder in the backcountry. I either will be investing in a better, like, warmer temperature sleeping bag in the next couple of years, as I kind of am curious to experiment with winter backpacking, or I could just get a sleeping bag liner to just stay a little bit warmer in this one. I have my Eno collapsible backpacking pillow. This just opens up, turns into a little pillow, packs down, and is pretty easy to secure to your bag even if you have a smaller pack. And since I have the bigger backpack out of Josh and I will be carrying the tent. I know backpacking gear can be really expensive. I got this one on Amazon. I'm sure there are lighter things out there, but considering this was only $35, we absolutely love this tent. It held up really well and the price was right. Now into some of the more nitty-gritty. A couple things I will absolutely... Ooh, where's the bear spray? So now I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about some of my gear that I take and some of the lessons that I learned last year. So a few things you'll never find me in the backcountry without are bear spray. We are in grizzly country and I have 2 dogs. This is a must. They are a bit expensive, but you never want to be in a situation where you don't have one. So we've got that. A first aid kit. You never know what's going to happen. I also actually have an emergency wilderness kit that has a compass and rope, foil blanket, wire if we need to cut anything, a little knife, and a flashlight. This was actually a gift from a friend for Josh and I's my bridal shower, and it's something we've never actually had to use, but we always have with us, and we are going to be really grateful if we end up in a situation one day where we need it, but we hope that we don't. So those are kind of my emergency essentials, and I also always bring headlamps. I bring a spare in case one runs out of battery, or sometimes I'll put them around the dogs' necks in the evening so that they're easier for me to see. Little pet parrot camping hack. It's come in handy quite a few times. I also always take rain ponchos just in case. I carry a lot of camera gear, so that's mostly just to keep that kind of stuff dry if we need to. And we also have a dry bag. There are 2 ways to secure your food in bear country. You can either hang it from a tree or use a bear canister. Josh and I prefer to hang our food. It's a little bit lighter, less for us to carry. Some places do require the bear canister, so check before you go what the rules are in your area, and often they'll have some available for rent if you need it. But this is the bag that we use to put all of our food in. Josh has the ropes and carabiners, and we have a little rock sock that you use to toss something weighted over a tree branch to start the process of hanging your food. One of the harder lessons we learned last time we went backpacking was about your water situation when you're in the backcountry. Last time we went, I took a hydro flask. Major regrets. That is just dead weight. It's literally a metal water bottle, so even when it's empty, it's heavy, and I will not be making that mistake again. We have been collecting a couple of larger plastic bottles that we use on backpacking trips instead. Another massive mistake that we made in the backcountry. This one actually could have been quite dangerous. We only took this life straw with us last time we went backpacking for water fill-ups, and we definitely did not take enough water for the entire trip. The problem with this situation is you have to have a body of water to put it in, a lake or a river, and it's not the most effective or quick water filtration system, and we ended up not using it at all. Instead, we mooshed off Brandon and Sarah the whole weekend. Shout out to them. Again, we probably would have died without them. They had one of these water filters. I will put the Amazon link below for you guys if you would like one. Basically, you just screw this onto the top of a standard water bottle, fill it up from a river or lake, and then you can drink straight out of this. Not only did it come with the straw, but it also came with 2 plastic water pouches with directions on how to use them. Again, these are much better in the backcountry than a hydro flask or a water bottle. They take up next to no room in your pack, and they don't weigh very much. So, highly recommend this. Much better alternative than the Life Straw. I'll probably take both just because I'm a little anxious about not having a water source in the backcountry. The goal is not to die when backpacking, so I'll take a backup just in case. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you will know that I am a major foodie, so that is no different in the backcountry for me. We always take a box of mac and cheese. Backpacking meals can actually be a little difficult for me. I am intolerant to both garlic and onion. Tragic. But a lot of pre-made backpacking meals have those ingredients in them, so we have to get a little bit more creative and carry a little bit more weight in the food department sometimes. We're going to the grocery store later, so I will do like a little food haul as I finish packing up my pack for you guys. But as far as kitchen supplies go, we actually take 2 setups with us. We take this very compact backpacking kit that I found on Amazon. We also take this kind of camp cooking set that I was actually gifted by BYU. We really like taking this one also, as the pot and pan are a little bit bigger, so we have a little bit more freedom with what and how much we can cook. The pot on this one is more of like a large coffee mug size, and everything is much more compact on this kit. And then obviously we need something to cook with. We just use a little jet boil. The top piece of the stove goes in this little box, and then we have our propane canister. I actually need to get a new one because I'm not sure if this one is full, and I don't want to run out in the backcountry, because if your girl doesn't have coffee, it's no good. Sweating a little bit. The weather can't make up its mind today. We've been getting a lot of storms here recently. They blow through pretty quick, but they make the weather substantially colder. So it's been going from like hot to cold all day. I digress. The last couple of things that I am taking with me are just some personal preferences that I've found just make my trips a little bit more fun. I really like to document things when we're backpacking and camping. They're some of my favorite memories. So I do carry a bit of extra weight as far as cameras and gear, but I always take a little phone tripod, an attachment, and then I take my vlog camera and my iPhone typically, and the Insta360. I use that a lot when we are snowboarding as well. It's been a great camera, super compact, and we love it. I also will always take a cooling towel. These are great to dip in the river, put around your neck, just to help keep your temperature lower. Like I said, I'm expecting it to be a little colder this year than last, but it's always good to have it, just in case. And then I try to minimize the amount of trash that I take into the backcountry with me because I have to carry it out with me. So instead of traditional makeup wipes, I really love washing my face at the end of a long hiking day, whether I'm sleeping in a tent or not. So I have these reusable makeup wipes I found at Walmart. The brand is Erase Your Face. You just add water, makeup comes right off, and then you can just launder them, and I really enjoy them a lot, especially for camping and backpacking. Last but certainly not least is a mosquito face net. The things I would have done to have one of these last year when we were getting swarmed, eaten alive by the lake. Not the most flattering of fashion attire, but it tightens up around your neck, and then you can just tuck it right into your clothing, and it keeps your face and neck safe from mosquito bites. The mosquitoes out here are pretty gnarly, probably more so right now because we've been getting a ton of rain. So yeah, absolute must. And now the fun part, clothes. I feel like I made a lot more than 3 mistakes when we went backpacking last year, but I definitely didn't pack warm enough clothing. I packed mostly shorts and I wore tank tops. This was bad for multiple reasons. I was freezing overnight, and wearing a tank top with a backpack, I ended up with a lot of rubbing and chafing and ended up being in a ton of pain from the tank tops. So I'm taking a much different approach this year as the weather's looking much cooler and I learned my lesson. So we always start with a puffy. I really love these because they pack down super small. This one is different than the one I took last year. I treated myself at the REI sale this year. I went with a large. I usually would grab a medium, but I don't know why this felt like it kind of ran small, and I really like to layer. I'm really into hoodies, if you know, you know. So I wanted to make sure I had room to wear a couple things underneath. So I'm taking this as a top layer. Another Flagstaff thrift score, but I have some REI hiking pants. These actually unzip into shorts, and they have the tags on them brand new, and I found them for $9. So I'm taking those. I usually will layer them with fleece line leggings overnight to stay extra warm and just have an extra layer. Packing a beanie as always. This one is actually from American Eagle. I feel like beanies are usually way too long on my head. I don't know if I have like a short forehead or if I just have a problem finding hats, but this one actually fits me really well. I have heard a lot of people say to just kind of wear the same outfit multiple days when you go backpacking. And that's just not who I am as a person. So I probably overpack, but it is what it is. I am willing to muscle the extra weight to be comfortable. I always try and take some comfier things to wear at camp and then a couple of hiking things to wear when we're hiking. I packed this super cozy Jackson Hole long sleeve. It's super oversized and comfy. I'll probably put that on once we make it to camp. Another backpacking essential, in my opinion, is camp shoes, or at least something besides your hiking boots. After 8 miles carrying a massive pack, I cannot be bothered to leave my hiking shoes on my feet. Last year I took my Chacos. This year I'll probably be taking these because I can wear socks with them. I did make a massive error last year and I hiked the 3rd day in my Chacos and kicked the shit out of a rock and had a black toe for like 7 months. So don't hike in your camp shoes, but take a pair of camp shoes. I feel like you're either a leggings person for hiking or like a hiking pants person for hiking. I tend to be more of a legging person, so I brought 2 options. These are also great to layer at night under my REI pants. And because, again, I'm not really sure how the weather will be because it's crazy around here, I've got a pair of hiking shorts, 2 flannels. I've got this one. It's so cute. I bought this secondhand from Sarah and I'm obsessed. And then I just brought my go-to as well. You can never have too many flannels, right? Now that I'm looking at what I packed, I mean, we're only going for 2 days. I have definitely overpacked here. So we'll see what actually ends up in my backpack. And I'm gonna wear one of these outfits tomorrow to get started. But like a fresh, clean outfit after a long, hot day of hiking just improves the experience overall for me. So we make the space for it. Let me check my packing list, but I think that is everything. I still have to grab a couple last minute things at the store. I need sunscreen, liquid IV, and we need to grab our pour over coffee. I can't find the one we used to have in the van, but it's just like a collapsible thing for a coffee filter. I will get a caffeine headache if we don't take coffee with us, so we may have to just grab some instant coffee, but coffee of some sort. Now we have to put everything in the bag and run to the grocery store. Here's the full grocery haul. We always do cans of grilled chicken. We always do the ones with the pop top so we don't have to take a can opener. Liquid IV, of course. This is one of my personal faves. It's like dried. It is just some peppered salami, and I got us some cheese to take as well, but that's in the fridge for right now. 3 cookies because I need a treat at the end of the day, and I got one for Josh. We got sunscreen and bug spray. Water bottles, Chex Mix for a snack, some of these granola bars. I personally really hate the crunchy ones because they make a huge mess. We got some oatmeal for breakfast. You just add boiling water. Josh got some beef jerky. We add this taco seasoning to the chicken and eat it with some mashed potatoes and wrapped up in a tortilla, so it's like kind of like a burrito. Made it last year and we absolutely loved it, and it doesn't upset my stomach. And we just got 2 bags of instant potatoes because you can never have enough carbs. That's everything that we're taking with us, and it looks like it's going to be a tasty weekend.